Hey everyone, we are going to move on to the note reading practice, the E and A strings. Now what's happening in this lesson is we are combining the E string and the A string. So in previous lessons, we've worked on those strings individually. Now we're going to encounter them together, okay? So here are the directions. It says practice by repeating each measure 3 times as you proceed. Can you clap and say the finger numbers in tempo? Can you do it faster? I'm not going to clap because it's going to be hard to hear the numbers on the video, but we are going to use a metronome. And for the slower tempo, we will put the metronome on 60. And then as we go faster, we will move it up to 72. Okay, so we're going to do 60 first. Now, before we get into this exercise, there is a note at the bottom that I would like to read. It says, "It is essential to know the proper finger the instant you read the note, as well as the tone it will produce. Your response will be too slow if you refer to the note names first." So as you're playing, as you're seeing the music, we want to get to a point where you can hear what it sounds like in your head as you see it before you even play it. And then the fact here is that some of the note names like C sharp, F sharp, G sharp have more than one syllable. So when you're trying to say them in time, you either have to say them very quickly, or if you don't say them quick enough, then you will fall behind the metronome. You'll fall behind in the tempo. So knowing the names of the note, the pitch, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, the alphabet names, is necessary for theory. But when we're playing music, we can actually get by knowing which string we're on and which finger that note falls on the string. So it's not necessarily to be able to actually play the music and know the note name at this point. When the finger, the note, and the brain act as one, you know the tone the moment you read the note, as well as the melody. This talent education method is a new discovery. It corresponds to the relationship between words and letters. In language, children learn to speak first before we teach them letters. I adopt the same process in teaching violin music. So as far as the notes, so when because I'm an excellent reader, when I see something in here, I know what it sounds like before I play it. Okay, so I have the aural attachment to the visual here, and then the physical kinesthetic attachment. I know what it feels like to play that note and where to play it on my instrument. So we're trying to be able to combine all of these in one. So we have to have these separate skills of the visual, the aural, and the kinesthetic all combined into one to be able to do this very quickly. And because it is so complex, that is why we start with playing by ear before we introduce note reading. And we're following along with this concept, which is the Suzuki method, learning by ear, the mother tongue way to learn an instrument. That is, we are learning to speak or play the instrument, make sound on it before we actually learn how to read. And that's the same thing with your language, right? Everybody learns how to speak their language before they learn letters and before they start to actually write and read. So that's the method that we're following here, even with this note reading. Okay, so your child will have a easier time of attaching what the note sounds like than you will. So they actually know what an A sounds like, an E sounds like. So that comes easier to them because they've been playing by ear for a while. So that might take a little bit longer for you to develop yourself. So give yourself some grace and patience in that area. All right, so let's look at number 1. I've already written in the numbers and I have marked where the string starts. So one of the pitfalls of note reading is not understanding where the string begins and ends on the staff. So the E string begins in the 4th space of the staff. So I've already colored that in with our pink. So anything in that space, in that pink line, or space, in that pink area, and above is on the E string. So that's pretty straightforward. Things get a little sketchy, a little hairy when we're in the middle of the staff, right? So the A string notes begin on the 2nd space. So I filled that in. So any notes like this, in this space, up to the line right underneath the pink, right through that 4th line, those are all A string notes. Okay, so the first measure reads E, 1, 1, 1. The second measure, 1, 2, 2, 2. The third measure, 2, 3, 3, A. So as you can see in these examples, it can be confusing because we have the same numbers, 1, 1, 1, but these two are on the E string, and then this is lower on the A string. So that's why it is also helpful to have the different colors. In the books that I write for my students, I have the numbers, but I also color code. And if you've noticed, the pink lines are always higher than the orange lines because I'm trying to help facilitate the eye movement of the different strings on the staff. Okay. Did I do the last one? 2, 3, 3, A. Okay, so what we're going to do is put the metronome on 60, and we're going to practice saying the numbers in time with the metronome. So by in time, we mean that you want to say the number with the metronome click. So when the metronome is clicking, you are saying the number. So here's the metronome clicking. Okay, for an example, I have this, E, 1, 1, 1. So I'm saying the number and touching the note at the same time as the metronome is clicking. Okay, so the metronome keeps an even, steady beat, meaning the space between the two clicks is exactly the same for all the clicks here. Okay, here we go. E, 1, 1, 1. E, 1, 1, 1. E, 1, 1, 1. All right, next measure. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 2, 2. 1, 2, 2, 2. 1, 2, 2, 2. Okay, next. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 3, 3, A. 2, 3, 3, A. 2, 3, 3, A. Good. Okay. So now what we're going to do is play this on the violin. We will play each measure 3 times, and we will try to stay in time with the metronome. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. E, 1, 1, 1. E, 1, 1, 1. E, 1, 1, 1. So you notice on the violin, I'm on the E string here. E, 1, 1. And then because this is on a different string, this first finger is on a different color, we have to hop down and change the string. E, 1, 1, 1. So anything on the pink in the pink will be on the E string, and anything in the orange section will be on the A string. Now, if this is confusing for you and you don't like having this separation, you can color in the rest of this area here. So anything in that area, you will play on the A string. And then same thing here, anything all the way up from that 4th space up to this ledger line. Okay. And then if you don't like the overlapping like this, I'll show a different way to color it. These do erase, kind of. I'll show a different way to color it here if that doesn't work for you. Okay, so then we play through this at 60. And then what we're going to do is go back and speed it up. We are going to see if we can get this line up to 72. So I'm going to change the speed of the metronome to 72. All right. Here we go. We're going to play this measure 3 times. 1, 2, ready, go. E, 1, 1, 1. E, 1, 1, 1. E, 1, 1, 1. Next measure. Ready, go. 1, 2, 2, 2. 1, 2, 2, 2. 1, 2, 2, 2. Next measure. Ready, go. 2, 3, 3, A. 2, 3, 3, A. 2, 3, 3, A. Okay, so we want to get pretty quick, pretty automatic with this. Okay. So here's another way that you can color. We'll look at number 2. right? Here's another way that we can color. So the A string is the second space, third line, fourth space, and fourth line. Okay, so this is in fact on the A string here. Okay, so what we can do is shade in all of the A string stuff here. Okay, this is still on the A string. Now look, we are leaving the A string for this note to come up to the E string. Okay, so we can shade in just that E string note. The next note is on the fourth line, so that is in fact on the A string. So I can color that in. Okay, and then this note is above the fourth space, so that is on the E string. This note is on the top line, so that's the E string. Ledger line, so that's the E string. Okay, now this note is below that fourth space, so it is on the A string. And then this is right here on the border of the two strings. It's third finger on the A string, and this is the fourth line. That's where the A string ends, on this fourth line right here. Okay, so there are a couple ways that you can color it to make more sense to you. Okay, so you can color in all of the A string area on the staff, or you can just color in each note based on whether it's orange, like these, or if it's pink, because it's on the E string like that. Okay, let's see if I can adjust my lighting. There we go. Okay, so those are the strings that we're on. Now let's write in the note names. I will do this one with you, but I'm going to give you time to think about it. I keep saying note names, friends. Letters, numbers, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so this right here, I'm going to zoom in, but you have your own book. Right. Okay, this. Okay, take a second to guess what that is, and then I'm going to write it in. Okay, can you guess the next one? Notice that they're right next to each other. A line to a space is right next to each other. Because you're moving down the staff, or lower on the staff, we're going to subtract a number. So this is a 2. Okay, this to this. Again, we're in a space coming down to a line. Space to line is just by 1. So we're subtracting 1 to give us 1. Okay, we're moving up, and it's from line to space, so we're moving up by 1. This is 2. Okay, all right, next. Okay, take a second to think about what this is. This is 2. Okay, remember the E string starts right here in the fourth space, so now we're on the E string, but it is not an E. E is in the space, and we're going from space to line, so that's 1. So E, 1. Okay. Couple ways to think about this one. You can think about, well, here's the A string, the second space, A, 1, 2, 3. Or we can go backwards. Here's 1 on the E string, open E goes in this space, and then subtract. So from E, if you're going 1 lower from E, then you have to add 3 fingers, and that's really confusing for most people, right? We're going down a note, but we're adding 3 fingers to make that lower pitch. Okay, so from here to here, okay, you've got 2 options. You can say, I know this space right here, that's an E, open E, and if I go from space to line, that's just 1, and we're increasing because we're going up the staff, so E, and then 1, right? Or we can start here, 3, E, 1, like that. Okay, all right, next measure. Okay, guess what this is? This is a 1, okay? If this is a 1, 2 would go here in the top space above the staff, and then space to the ledger line that we've added makes this 3. Okay, 2 ways to do this. You can come down and say that, oh, here's the A, 1, 2, or you can say 3, the top space is 2, line is 1, space is E, line is 3, space is 2. So there's a couple ways to get at that. Space to line right next to each other. So we're increasing or decreasing by 1, but we know we're increasing by 1 because we're going up the staff. We're going higher on the staff, so this becomes 3. Okay, so I hope that gives some hints on how to figure these out, especially when they're all mixed up. All right, let's play these on the violin. Okay, I'm not going to zoom in too much because you can use your book, and I think you've gotten everything written down. So we're going to play with the metronome at 60. Set that up. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 3, 2, 1, 2. 3, 2, 1, 2. 3, 2, 1, 2. Now you want to get to a point where you can play these 3 measures, or this measure 3 times, and then roll right into the next measure. And that's what we're going to do this time. So I'm going to play this 3 times and then go right into this 3 times. I'm not going to stop and give you another count, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 1, 3, 1. 2, 1, 3, 1. 2, 1, 3, 1. 1, 3, 2, 3. 1, 3, 2, 3. 1, 3, 2, 3. Okay, now we're gonna go faster. So I'm gonna put the metronome on 72. I'm gonna play each measure 3 times, and I'm just going from one measure to the next measure. I'm not gonna stop and count it in for each measure, okay? So this is how we build some fluency in our reading. Okay, we're gonna start here. 1, 2, ready, go. 3, 2, 1, 2. 3, 2, 1, 2. 3, 2, 1, 2. 2, 1, 3, 1. 2, 1, 3, 1. 2, 1, 3, 1. 1, 3, 2, 3. 1, 3, 2, 3. 1, 3, 2, 3. Well done. All right, so what I'm gonna do is write in the numbers and the colors for the last line. I want you to pause it and think about it on your own, practice playing it on your own, and then come back and check it. I'm not gonna edit the video, as you know, so pause it and then fast forward. All right, so here's what I have for the last line, number 3. These are orange, if you can't tell. It's a little light. Okay, and here are the numbers. 3, 1, 2, A. 3, 1, 2, E. 1, 3, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to play each measure. I hope you've practiced it with the metronome both at 60 and then tried to speed it up to 72. But I'm going to play each measure once so you can hear it to double check yourself. Here's the first measure of number 3. 3, 1, 2, A. Measure 2. 3, 1, 2, E. Last measure. 1, 3, 2, 3. So I hope that helps you understand reading the notes on the E string and the A string. Don't forget to subscribe so you get notifications for the next video that's coming out. And then please do share this on your social media so anyone needing to know how to read the violin music will find this information. Thanks for watching.